while we're waiting on the next game, I'd like to talk about a couple of incentives that have been met. We have met the incentive for the Pokemon Blue blindfolded run, so that's going to be happening later on. We also have completed all incentives for the Luigi's Mansion race, so that will be run at 100%. Thank you everyone who donated for those. We still have plenty of donation incentives that people can put their money towards. For Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow, we are choosing Julius vs. Soma still. And you can also name the half-minute hero. So take a look at our donation tracker, check out all of the donation incentives you can put your money towards. We have $15 here donated by an alien. Seeing all of these games played for such a good cause brings joy to my 3 hearts and a tear to most of my several eyes. Shoutouts from Mars. P.S. Please send more robots here, it gets lonely. $20 donation from Anonymous. Vega has no style. Vega has no grace. This claw has a funny face. That's why he wears a mask. Love DK64, keep it up, good luck. We have a $10 donation from Zopni. It says, first time viewer of SGDQ and GDQ. Saw 10 great segments already, including this DK64 run, so I will donate $10 and $1 more for every other segment afterwards. Chrono Trigger 100%, please. Also, hi Mom. We have one final donation from Mr. John Cena for $101, the true champion of games. $5 from Aaron202. This is my first time donating. I started DK64 for the first time earlier this week. I just realized that I bought the most broken game ever earlier this week. I'll enjoy learning where walls are not in this game.
Alright, can we hear each other here?
I can hear you.
I can hear you just fine.
Good stuff.
We have a $20 donation from Anonymous. Really enjoying this DK64 run. Watching the Kong's backstroke through the first level is something else, and I could listen to lanky siren song all day. Keep up the good work.
We're ready? All right. And then 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, I just stopped the timer.
Congrats, man.
World record! World record!
Yes. All right, good start. Got one world record. Let's get another, maybe. All right, so this is Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. This is for the Game Boy Advance, and I'm playing it on Wii Virtual Console. I'm going to go into a little bit between version differences to start off here. This was released in the US first, so a lot of glitches were patched out in the Japanese version, but new glitches were introduced and fixing some other ones. And I'll be mentioning more and more about these as they go on. This run is glitchless for the first half or so, and then the second half is, well, there isn't really a good word for it, so you'll just see it when we get there.
It's something else.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
I believe we call it bad stuff happens.
We'll just leave it at that for now.
Yeah. Anyway, one thing, this game breaks a lot of speedrunning conventions. Like, oftentimes players will use Japanese versions of games because the text is faster. That's not the case with this game because text just goes as fast as I can mash. And in the intro, at least, the English version has less text boxes for whatever reason. So that's, we're off to a good start with that. This first fight here is impossible to lose, and I'm going to demonstrate that by failing every action command. It's the same number of turns regardless of what you do. So it's a contrast from many other RPGs that have a supposed to lose fight. And really, this is just the game getting your hopes up, because there's a lot of difficult fights in this game if you've ever played it before. One thing the series is pretty well known for, too, is its amount of tutorials. And thankfully, you can skip some of them, but some of them even ask you if you want to skip them or not, and it still forces you to do it anyway, so... but they're not too bad in Superstar Saga. So yeah, as the story goes with this, Peach's voice has been stolen, and now she just spouts out explosive words or whatever they are.
Cats, some geckos in there.
If you've never played the game before and are worried about spoilers, don't worry. A lot of things will get skipped. And though if you are trying to make sense of the story through the speedrun, good luck with that. So one thing I'm going to be doing a lot throughout the run is picking up items. The best item in the game is the mush badge, which increases my damage based on the number of mushrooms in my inventory. So all of the items I'm picking up is to either power up the mush badge or to buy it later. We'll get more into that as we get further into the run. Though one thing on the mush badge I'll mention right now, they are very different between the Japanese and English versions. And it's actually its power in the English version, which makes it the fastest version. It's compared to the Japanese version, it costs half as much and does over twice the damage. In a lot of ways, the Japanese version is faster because the glitches make it faster and enemies have a lot less HP. But the mush badge is just too good on the English version, and it ends up being faster, even if some of the methods it needs to do for skips are slower. I'll be mentioning a lot of little differences between the two versions as we go. So a common theme in this game is that Luigi is pretty much the butt of every joke. You know, he gets dragged into this, and he's, funnily enough, the butt of a lot of the jokes and the glitches as well. Though he'll get his revenge in the glitch showcase that you guys donated for at the end of the run. So there are some coins that I could pick up here, but it's useless to do that because they'll all be taken away from me anyway. But right here is one of the most important parts of the run, is where you get to choose your passport pictures. And I know everybody on the couch has their own preference to what direction they like to push when the pictures come up. But for this run, I'm going to be picking Team Up.
Unbelievable. Not even team right.
I'm out.
What?
Garbage.
Team left for life.
Team down.
You know, Tudos, the last time I picked Team Right, I got a bunch of ones on my power-ups there, so I don't know if that can be trusted.
Well, that's your own fault, not
Yeah.
mine.
Hey now. I could, you know, I was tempted to make up some stuff about that these pictures manipulate the RNG in the game or something, but if they do, we have no way of knowing right now. The community for this game is a little small, but there's still a lot of work that's been done through tasking. And by the way, a quick shout out to Mug, who did a task of this back in 2012 and was the inspiration for me to start running this game. When I started running this game using the glitched route, a lot of people thought I was nuts because there weren't really any setups for it, any of the skips, and they were really inconsistent in real time. But a year and a half later, and well, here I am. So the main mechanic with the battle system in this game is that there are timed hits and timed dodges. You can avoid every point of damage in this game if you're good enough. And that's very important for completing this game later, because I'll be beating the game at a very low level by the time I get to the end of the game.
Yeah, the later stuff requires a lot of practice because you'll be such a low level at that point. The later stuff requires practice because you'll be at such a low level that a lot of things will one-shot you, and if you're not good at dodging, then...
Yeah, it's been a pretty common trend with recent new runners of this game that the final boss is 50% of your practice, and that's not even an exaggeration. It's more for some people.
It's easily the hardest part about this run.
Hey, we're off to a good start.
Nice.
Good start.
So let's talk about those power bonuses that I'm going to be getting. They're technically not random because you can time them, but the timing on it's really stupid. The numbers fly by really quickly, and the timing for it is not when the number's in the center of the indicator, but slightly past it. And I found that I end up missing the timing more often than not when I try to go for it. So I just mash and hope that I get what I need. Getting low power isn't necessarily a bad thing. No amount of bad luck will end a run. It'll just make it a little bit slower. So here's the fan favorite character that a lot of people will remember as Fawful. And even though I'm going to be skipping through most of the text, everybody remembers some of his famous lines, and since I'm playing this in English, you'll be able to still see some of it. So it'll be good for that trip down memory lane. This fight's pretty straightforward. As long as I hit all the action commands and defenses, is it'll go perfectly. Not sure how he's getting over there, but we won't go into that. And now would actually be a pretty good time for donations if there are any.
Well, that there are. We have a $20 donation from Rico3674. Superstar Saga is easily one of my favorite games of all time. I'm glad to see it being run in an 8 SGDQ and looking into speedrunning it myself. Here's to an awesome run, altabiscuit. Love the work being put towards such an awesome event. Let's push for that 1 million. AB10 donated $50 and says, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga is my favorite game on the Game Boy Advance and one of my favorite games of all times. Let's do some good in this world by playing some awesome games.
We got another cutscene coming up here. So a few more donations and we can get going.
All right. Might get this one. We have $5 from Shy Ranger. Here's my 99,999,999,000,000 Bean Coins donation, converted to US dollars, of course. Emprio says has $50 to say. Hooray for the Superstar Saga run. And Anonymous donated $100 saying, thanks guys, heart.
Yeah, that one donation comment mentioning about the currency exchange in this game, it's something else. I'm not sure what's wrong with the Mushroom Kingdom economy, but it's not in a good state of affairs. At the start of the game, it's like 100 Mushroom Kingdom coins to 10 Bean coins, and then it's like 1 trillion to 1 or something like that.
Note donated $50 and has an important question. Does Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga have walls?
Not in the Japanese version. Okay, so this border jump game is pretty straightforward, but I'm going to be taking hits on purpose. At the end of the minigame, there is fireworks that happen based on the number of lives I have left. So I'm going to leave Mario and Luigi with 1 each to only get 2 instead of 6. The later levels of this, if you decide to do them, are pretty evil because there's not a very good cue on when they're going to approach you. So it's pretty much trial and error after the first level, but I don't have to do any more than that. I'm grabbing this pipe for later. There's 5 warp pipes that I end up getting throughout the run, and that one I won't revisit till the end. So up here is the game's first boss, but I'm not going to fight him yet. He's going to blackmail me for coins after telling me how worthless the Mushroom Kingdom coins I have are. So anyway, I mentioned earlier that the first half of the run is essentially glitchless, and a lot of the first half of the run is movement optimization, avoiding encounters, and all that kind of good stuff. And the second half is more glitch execution and avoiding attacks. Uh-oh. Okay, then. I'm going to grab this coin. So grabbing 10 coins out of that block there, I only got 9. The timing for it's a lot harder than it looks. If you're off by just a little bit, you'll only get 9. And the coin route I have gets 101 coins, so you can only miss 1.
Oh, Altabiscuit has to grab a very slow backup coin box if he fails another one.
Which I've already failed enough, by the way, so I am getting the coins of shame. That first Mario and Luigi coin block, I messed up the alignment on, and the backup coin, I got made up for one of them, but I'm already too short.
For the 10 coin blocks, you can't just smash to get the coins out of them. You actually have to tap it at a pretty precise rate, so it's not
Yeah.
hitting it as fast as possible.
If you mash, you'll probably only get about 5 or 6 coins instead of 10. And without fail, everyone that has learned this game has made a comment about that. This would be another time for a few donations.
All right. We have $10 from the Matthew Fupp. The last DK64 run by Tudos was fantastic, but now it's time for the run I stayed up all night for. Superstar Saga is such a great run, I'm glad to see Alta running it and my other Rickery pals on couch. I'll donate more money if Tudos says Lanky is objectively the best Kong.
It is for charity. Lanky is objectively the best Kong.
That's quotable, by the way. I'm going to read that back to you later.
I'll be talking to Fupp later about that one.
That had to hurt every fiber of your being.
Hans the Vans Man donated $100 saying, Superstar Saga is the only Mario and Luigi game I've played to completion, and thus my favorite one.
So you'll be noticing I'll be going a little bit out of the way for some items here. And this is all necessary for the Mosh badge, like I mentioned earlier. All right, we got 10 out of that one. Those Mario and Luigi coin blocks are a little bit weird on the timing. Like, if you hit it too early, then you won't jump, and that was another example of that happening right there. I did get all 12 of them out of there, though, so I'm safe there. So this tutorial does serve a purpose in the English speedrun, at least. There are something called advanced versions of your bro attacks, and those are unlocked by completing them so many times. And the tutorial here counts towards that number on the English version, but in the Japanese version it doesn't. So the English version gains a few seconds because of that. Fun fact, that fighter fly has 1,000 HP. On an emulator, we messed around with seeing what would happen if you would kill it, and we were expecting the game to crash, but to our disappointment, it didn't. Bowser, on the other hand, in the opening cutscene, has 9,000 HP, and if you hack your power to kill him, that will crash the game. I didn't get the first strike. It's not a big deal if I don't get it on the first encounter, but the second two I'll need to.
Alta's going to be grinding some enemies here so he gets a level up.
Yeah, not only that, but it gives me coins needed to pay off Tolstar and get bro attack uses. So I'm knocking out 3 things at once here. Thankfully, I don't have to do a whole lot of grinding in this game. There's just 4 encounters aside from bosses that I have to do. So Luigi's power doesn't matter as much as Mario's, but if he gets high power, it helps out if Mario doesn't get any good rolls. There we go. So on the second cannon, I'm not going to use a Splash Brothers here because I need to save the 2 to speed up the next fight. If I get a lucky hit on there, I save a little bit of time, and that's the only place in the run where getting a crit matters. Critical hits don't occur on bro attacks. And the stash stat manipulates that, which I'll be dumping some into Luigi later on, but that's more for shops and the items. Increasing stash just helps with your bargaining, which is where it's more important. Because any shopkeeper can respect a well-trimmed mustache.
I can actually agree with that. That's happened to me in real life before.
Hopefully there's a good roll here again.
Hey, there we
Hey,
go.
not bad.
That's actually perfect. Ideally, before level 5, I want to get a 3 and a 2 or 3 2s. And that means I don't lose any time on later boss fights. As I mentioned before, I am a coin short, so I'm going to have to go grab the coin of shame. So this is the first boss fight in the game. It's pretty straightforward. Use bro attacks until you win. The Japanese version has a little bit of an advantage over the English version in this case because you start with more bros points. I have to use a syrup in this fight on the English version, but the Japanese version doesn't. So between the differences in Stardust fields, they break about even, with the English version being like about a second faster. I think we got time for a donation or two.
Well, following up from before, we have a $5 donation from the Matthew Bob. Lanky! That is his donation. NVSP donated $5 saying, well, I guess both Tudos and Ultima have inspired me to speedrun. Time to learn how learn 2 new games to speedrun. Thanks, guys. Good luck on the run, Ultima. I don't know if that's a nickname or if you spelled your name wrong.
I'm not sure if I have any nicknames that I know about.
I've heard a lot of Atla. Atla Biscuit. We have $20 from Carl Avald. Hello, greetings from Norway. I've been looking forward to SGDQ since SGDQ ended, and I've been watching all week. It's really fun to see you break all my favorite games. And I had to donate during Superstar Saga since it's awesome. I have Fury.
So there's a jump coming up here that has been nicknamed Swag Jump. That gap right there, they intend you to use Spin Jump, but it's just close enough where if you time it right, you can jump with them without Spin Jump. And I didn't get it.
There'll be another chance later, though.
Yeah, I got 2 chances at it. Usually getting Mario over that gap isn't the hard part, but it's getting Luigi's timing, as you have to delay the jump just slightly. So Hoo Hoo Village here is one of the more extreme examples of me going way out of my way to collect items. And it may seem like it's pretty slow, but it's right now the fastest known way to get the resources I need. The route has gone under a lot of changes over the last year and a half. The really old Japanese route, when that used to be the fastest version, and used to punch Luigi in the crotch to farm coins. And the Japanese version had heart blocks, which heal all your HP, so you could do that repeatedly to get infinite coins. But it's really slow, and it was like 10 minutes long of grinding, so I'm kind of glad that's out of the route, even if it's pretty hilarious for the first minute. If I remember to, I'll show you what that looks like, because it's like 2 seconds. I need to have bro hammer attacks in order to do it. We probably got time for another donation.
All right, well, we have $30 from just another donator. Nothing like watching a good game get destroyed at 5:30 in the morning. Here's $5 for every marathon I've watched so far. Unfortunately, I will not be able to next year, as I will be in the U.S. Navy. Good luck, everyone. A superstar high five hype. Anonymous donated $50 just to say, keep up the good work.
For some reason, talking to just the bottom guy makes the bridge be completed after you talk to the Hammerhead Bros. This is a section of the game that casually people get stuck in a lot just because it's seemingly random just to have to talk to that one guy, but that's a thing with a lot of RPGs, I guess. So this is the first part of the game where avoiding encounters can become an issue depending on where enemies decide to go. And it's actually a good time to mention that encounters are very bad because running away isn't an option. I mean, I can do it, but I lose 20 to 30 coins whenever I run away. And that's way too costly considering how tight the coin route is for this game. So whenever I get an encounter, I just have to suck it up and finish the fight.
Alternatively, if the enemies hit hard enough, you can let one bro die and then run away because you lose significantly less coins for some reason when one bro is down.
Yeah, and you run away faster when there's only one of them alive too. Though the enemies in the mountain aren't strong enough to kill either of them in a reasonable amount of time, so it's usually just quicker to kill them. Alright, the second fountain area here has a really annoying beanie to avoid in the next room. Getting an encounter when you have water is really bad just because it can... oh, that was really close.
He tried so hard.
Yeah, if you get hit with an encounter while you have water, you spit out the water, so you have to go back and get it, in addition to having to deal with the encounter. It's not too bad to get hit here because I have to get an encounter here for experience anyway, but there's a room later on that really sucks if you get hit, and it's over a minute lost easily. So this is the final encounter that I take on purpose that isn't a boss. On average, getting the experience here just makes it a lot faster. If I rolled all threes, I wouldn't need to get this fight, but that's not something I ever get in runs. In fact, I'm more likely just to get all ones. So I just take the safety strat and pick up this encounter.
Like, there's not. I don't even think there's a 3 on that reel right there.
The one's okay there because I already have the power I need to kill the next 3 bosses in a timely manner. Any extra power that I get from here will be useful later, but it's not as huge of a deal breaker right now. By the way, during the glitch showcase, there will be a glitch with that fountain I will be showing off that I've only shown on stream once. So just keep that in the back of your mind. It's something that's exclusive to the English version, and it's pretty easy to do, so you'll be able to show it off to your friends. So this mini game is actually very important for later in the run, because this timer will be running in the background even while the mini game is done. And that timer in the background is needed for the final skip in the game. And because of how that timer works, if I reload a save at any point, that timer's wiped out. And there's a few parts in the game that are prone to soft locking, so I'll be using restore points during those parts instead of using the in-game save system. So fun fact, it's actually possible to soft lock on this boss, and it's only in the English version. And that's done when you unlock the advanced version of a move when Huhurus is hiding in a pillar. It's not something that happens too often, but I've seen it happen to some people. By the way, if anyone was curious, the European version of this game is the same as the North American version. It just has language options. And this game runs the same on all consoles because it's region-free. So if you're in Europe and have any interest in speedrunning this, you know, feel free to use the PAL version. You won't have any disadvantages. If I had less power, I would have to kill him on Luigi's turn, which just loses a little bit of time. Another one, but that's not a huge deal. It looks like my Wii U gamepad battery light's blinking. I'm not sure if it's low or not.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. We might need to get that plugged in. I thought it had enough of a charge. By the way, that's the dry bones there that wastes over a minute if you get hit by it when you have the water, but thankfully he was in a good position. If he's in a bad position, you can just hang out by the wall until he gets in a better position. Typically, it's a better idea to wait for the enemy to get into a better position instead of just trying to run right past them, because 9 times out of 10, you'll just get the encounter. So this boss has a pretty neat optimization at the end, and I should have enough power to pull it off. But it involves unlocking the advanced move on the same turn that I kill the boss, and you'll see what happens. And it's when I do that. In the meantime, we can probably get another donation or two in.
All right. Meta Sigma donated $40. It's 3:30 in the morning, and I couldn't go back to sleep, so I figured I'd come watch. To my surprise, one of the best Mario games was suddenly on. Shoutouts to my guy Dragon Dart, as well as everyone else for putting on this amazing event. This goes to whatever Dart wants. Keep it up, guys, and let's hit 1 million. Anonymous donated $100, saying something we can all agree with. Yeah! Control Alt WTF donated $20, saying was playing to head to bed, but I decided to stay up and to watch one of my favorite games of all time, Superstar Saga. You'll be increasing the total of the donations you have collected with the receiving of a donation that is mine. I have Fury.
All right, so here comes the small time save here. Both the animations trigger at the same time if you do that right. And that got fixed in the Japanese version. They wait one after the other. So at this point, if both versions were right next to each other, the English version would probably be about 10 seconds ahead. Well, so that was probably one of the most useless threes I could get on Luigi there, because after this fight, there's only one more fight where his power matters. So I'll just be upgrading his mustache from here on out. By the way, Albino Albatross, who's on the couch to my right, he made some perlers for this game, and Prince Peasley is one of them. He's got a bunch of other ones. It's one of the prizes for this game, and they're pretty fantastic. If we can get them shown on stream, if possible, that'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm holding them up right now.
Okay, look at Albino.
That door is really weird sometimes.
We have our prize guy on duty.
So there's a mini game coming up here, which is rather infamous with my stream, because I've made a pretty big deal about it over the last year. It's a game I've never failed during a run, and the only time I've ever failed it, it was an incentive for an online marathon or as a joke.
Today is the day.
Hopefully not. It's a pretty easy mini game, and I've heard of people failing it. Shoutouts to QWERTY, but
Pretty easy is pretty. It's easier than pretty easy, actually.
yeah. So if I fail this game here, I'm never going to hear the end of it from anybody, really. And I'm just setting myself up for that on Twitter or whatever, or if I do end up failing it, so we'll see what happens here. So I need to pick up 10 gems, and there are 2 rocks that will fall throughout this mini game here, and they take away 3 gems if I run into it. And there are 15 gems on the board here. So if I hit both the rocks, the most I can get is 9 gems, and I'll end up failing the mini game. So the only way I can fail is if I hit both rocks. And we're in there. You know, I was a lot more nervous for that than you think. I didn't want this first time for me to fail this game to be my SGDQ run.
There's a lot at stake.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wastes a lot of time if you end up failing this one.
Anyway, now that the scary part's over, why don't you read a donation or two?
Sure. PD Boo donated $20 asking, Strimmer, is this world record?
Not likely.
Zorglorfian donated $5 saying, Mario and Luigi was one of my first RPGs and it's such a great game. Money goes to another RPG, 100% Chrono Trigger. Thanks for running such an amazing games for such an amazing cause. Jinder08 donated $100 saying, great runs by everyone so far, keep up the good work. Shout out to the crew behind the scenes keeping this wonderful event going. Really looking to seeing this Chrono Trigger 100% run happen. A Cool Cat donated $20 saying, so excited, I've waited all night to watch some John Cena and Luigi. World champion hype.
There's a little quirk about the background in that tutorial. It's different in the Japanese version. It's actually a fix because the background is the mountain on the Japanese version, but the background for this one is the overworld. There's just a lot of little things that they picked. Or fixed, rather. Like, even to this day, I'm still finding random soft locks in the English version that got patched out. In it's just kind of amazing how broken this game ends up being once you start playing with it. But at face value, it doesn't look that broken at all. We got about one more area to go through before the glitchy fun starts happening, so get ready for that. These two guards are pretty hilarious. And once again, poor Luigi is another butt of a joke.
Nobody's ever heard of him. They apparently haven't heard of Mario either.
The year of Luigi had it happen when this game was released.
Well, you see, Dream Team was when the year of Luigi was, so instead of one Luigi to make fun of, they made many Luigis to make fun of.
This is just a general reminder that Dream Team did nothing wrong.
That is absolutely right. So the sewers here is one of the more difficult spots to avoid encounters in. And a lot of them are pretty time consuming and they move really quickly. And even to this day, I still get runs in them with multiple encounters.
A lot of them are also placed in the worst spots possible.
Yes. This is just going to be more examples of just waiting for enemies to be in better positions just to get by them. And this guy is not cooperating at all.
This fly is such a troll.
Yeah, he wasn't
like
just
that.
going to have any of that. So yeah, as I mentioned before, running away is not really an option. I have to just deal with the encounters as they come. Thankfully, the first few are not that time-consuming.
Ooh, okay.
The bottom area in that corner is safe, so it's just waiting for him to go to the upper right. Knowing where the enemy's aggro ranges are really helps for avoiding encounters. Alright, there's really only 2 more scary spots here. Sometimes that Superfly will jump all the way from the top to the bottom. And for like the first month that I ran this game, that never happened, so I was really surprised when it happened to me for the first time. And then like ever since that happened, it happened 5 runs in a row, so now I'm a bit more cautious with that area. Alright, this next enemy is the scariest one to dodge because I have to collect 3 item boxes next to him. And he was in a decent position there, so that worked out. Alright, that one encounter sewers is very good. So anyway, this next fight is where Splash Brothers Advance really shines, and it's why I grinded a little bit earlier in the game. Queen Bean is really one of the first bosses where there's a huge difficulty spike in the game. And they kind of come at random spots, and this is one of them. A lot of people apparently didn't know you could attack her arms to remove the crown from her, so a lot of people just sit there smacking her with a hammer for a while. And she has 120 HP, so you're going to be there for a while if you just hit her with a hammer, because you only deal 1 damage with a hammer. But thankfully, with Splash Brothers Advance, this fight's going to go by really quickly. So anyway, as you see there, I was able to damage her with a jump attack, even though she's a spiked enemy. Splash Brothers does 25% less damage, but deals double damage to spiked enemies. And also lets you attack them, so it works out really well. Luigi really can't do anything except hammers, and that's beneficial because it pushes her back. If she gets too close, she does a different attack that's a lot harder to dodge. And that's the end of that. Getting a string of ones here. That might be a problem later, but we'll see. All right, I'm going to start leveling up Luigi's stash here. And the main benefit to this is, oh, nice.
Good start.
The main benefit to it is I won't have to pick up as many items. Under ideal circumstances, getting a high stash means I'll get pretty much 3 or 4 mushrooms for free. As the stash also affects the selling price of items. And throughout the game, I've been picking up various items from bosses and just from boxes. As in one item in particular, the 1-Up Deluxe, sells for quite a lot. And we're nearing the end of our tutorial train here. Thankfully, I get a free badge out of this. And once again, poor Luigi gets left in the dark.
He just wanted a badge.
I think he'll accept anything at this point. I mean, there's somebody that calls him Green Mario at some point. Grabbing this warp pipe here, just like the one from earlier, just for future use. That Parabini can sometimes be in very awful positions. If he's in the upper left area of the maximum spot he could be, he'll hit me on the way over. And that one's also can be in an annoying spot.
Flying enemies in general will like to ruin your day a lot.
Absolutely. By the way, this room is foreshadowing for things that are going to be happening very soon. You'll find out what I mean in a couple minutes. So here we have Popple and Rookie. I'm not sure who the guy in the blue mask is, but we'll just call him Rookie since that's what Popple calls him.
He looks like a rookie.
And here we have probably one of the best songs in the game. That damage doesn't matter. It's actually slightly faster to take damage because the defense animation's a little bit longer. Oh, that was a mistake. Well, this is what happens when you fail your menu and attack Popple by accident. Rookie decides to get revenge on you. I didn't need to Bounce Brothers anyway, so I'll just do normal jump attacks. My power's in a pretty good spot because I'm 1 level higher than normal.
You can actually tell exactly who Popple's going to go after based on his facial expression.
Yeah,
If he doesn't change his facial expression at all, he's going to hit Mario. If he gets a big grin, he's going to go after Luigi every time.
yeah, so there's the big grin. He's going after Luigi. Every enemy in this game has a tell on who they're going to attack. Some of them are pretty obvious, and others are a little more subtle, like Popple's face.
In some cases, it also choreographs what attack they're going to do if they do something special.
So Popple's just going to run away now that his partner's gone. So at this point, Luigi's stats are completely irrelevant except for stash. The mush badge I'm going to be getting pretty soon, and it's going to be my damage for the rest of the game, and apparently I didn't have spin jump equipped. A lot of people say they didn't know about this room up here. It's got a super nut and a super syrup, so tell your friends about that one. You'll look super smart.
Oh yeah.
We got time for another donation or two here during this tutorial.
All right, well, from a very salty baby, we have $50. Whoever knew barrels could add so much fun to a game. Good luck breaking the second half of Superstar Saga, and put my donation to Runner's Choice.
John Cena from Usename.
Dun, dun, dun. GigaDB donated $20 saying, "Good luck, Alta. I always look forward to pixels being messed up in your runs. Sad that today was not the day."
I think I'm the only person that is not sad that today was not the day. Everybody's waiting for that day.
Anonymous donated $5 saying, "Great run, guys. My first and favorite GBA game. Brings a tear to my eye seeing everything about it again." I feel like that tear might get amplified a little bit.
By the way, I mentioned that punching Luigi in the crotch gets coins, and this is exactly how it's done. It's kind of random, but there's a guy in the game somewhere that kind of alludes to it. Whenever you do that, Luigi loses 2 HP, though, so it's not an infinite money fountain, unless you're playing the Japanese version. Alright, the glitchy's fun is about to begin. The first trick is called barrel storage, and it's a frame-perfect trick that lets me store barrel commands. It's going to be followed up by 2 more glitches, and I need to pay attention to audio cues while it's going on. So I'll explain in more detail about what's happening after I'm done with it. Nice.
Nice, first try.
Good job.
There might be something wrong with the game here. There's not a bit rate I've seen that can handle that on Twitch. Okay, so the pixel vomit is a side effect of me having action commands that are not standard. And I don't know why that happens, it just does. Anyway, the first trick that happened there, like I mentioned, it's called barrel storage. And that stored a fake barrel command on Mario and Luigi. And when you break out of a fake barrel, it makes Luigi's icon blank. And I was able to overwrite that with the sign, which changed the value. And with that, I was able to manipulate the memory in the game and overflow his action command ID. So that allowed me, after all that, to get high jump on Mario. And high jump on Mario basically lets me do that glitch wherever I want. So I no longer need a barrel to do it. And here's an example of that right here. So yeah, as you can see right now, Luigi has Thunder Hand, and I haven't picked up that ability yet. And I'm going to use it to get Super Hammers early. Now, one thing to keep in mind about these glitched commands is that whatever thing I give them, it's not permanent. So as you can see, I'm swapping through Luigi's commands, and I don't have Thunder Hand anymore. So part of the second half of the run is managing your commands and making sure you don't lose them. By the way, that Lackapee that was chasing me is one of the hardest enemies to avoid encounters from, because he'll just be dropping Sharpies everywhere. I've figured out methods to avoid them on a semi-regular basis, but still sometimes you can toss them in areas that are just really hard to avoid. The way enemies work in this game is they aim for the person that's standing in front, and the person in front will get hit, but based on the position on the person in the back, that's who it's going to hit. So if you've ever wondered why dodging encounters in this game is hard, that's why. Anyway, now that I got Super Hammers, I'm going to make a trip to Little Fungi Town to buy the Mush Badge. There's a few skips along the way. I'll be using a restore point before one of them, just to make sure I don't soft lock the game. Tudos mentioned in his run that restore points aren't allowed in speedruns, and this game isn't any different, but this is just for marathon safety. Alright, this next skip is Rock Skip, and I'll explain it in a bit. Alright, so you can see there, I was able to manipulate Luigi's height value, and I was able to jump over the rock because of it. And that is a side effect of being able to high jump on Luigi while he's underground, and that just creates a lot of really interesting effects, and that's one of them. And another thing I can do with it is teleport through walls, which I'm about to do. I could technically use the same rock skip to break through these rocks, but there's 4 times that you would have to do it, and through a lot of testing, it turned out that just grabbing Super Hammers was safer and faster. Anyway, I'm setting up the hat teleport glitch here. I'll explain more about it once I'm done doing it. This is where I'm going to use the restore point for safety. And there we go. Oh, by the way, Peach is with us here too, for some reason. The first time you visit Funky Town, you're supposed to be doing the Peach escort quest, but obviously we're not doing that. Anyway, the reason why I had to use a restore point back there is hat teleporting is a very precise trick. If you mess up your movement just a little bit, you could easily get stuck in a wall and the run's over. And if I use the in-game save system, the only way I could get a timer event back would be go play the surfing minigame, and that would add an hour to the run, so I'm pretty sure the GDQ staff wouldn't appreciate a 1 hour variance like that.
No, that'd be fine. Don't worry.
So yeah, I'm selling a bunch of stuff to get the mushrooms I need, and 60 is perfect, actually. So anyway, how the mush badge works, after attack and defense has been calculated, that's when the mush damage bonus happens. And so it's effectively increasing my minimum damage, and in this case I'm doing 13 damage per hit, which doesn't sound like a lot, but Chopper Brothers is a multi-hit attack, and basically the mush badge just effectively multiplied my damage by 13. Messed that up. I'm getting spin jump back on Luigi because I'll need it for a later skip here. Anyway, I'm going to do another rock skip here. It works the same as before. I'm manipulating Luigi's height so I can jump over the rock. During this, I'm mashing L because that's the only way I can get through the action commands. And there's 256 command or IDs, so it requires a lot of mashing to get to where you want to be. I'm gonna grab a 1-up here for safety. If I had Thunder Hand unlocked at one point, instead of saying Mario, 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 he would be saying Thunder, Thunder, Thunder. It's also equally hilarious. Alright, same deal as before. I'm about to do a hat teleport, so this will be another restore point that I use for that reason. There we go. All right, this next room is probably the scariest room in the game because there are a bunch of dry bones that are really hard to avoid. We'll see what happens here. And this was a very favorable pattern. If he's standing right next to the staircase there, you don't want to get too close to it because he can still hit you there.
They never intended for you to have both characters running through that area. If you do it, without glitches, you'll be running through there with only Mario, and it's actually pretty easy to get through without getting an encounter.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of that, I want to show something off real quick since the glitch showcase was met. We'll just include this as part of it. If you enter this room as Luigi, the game soft locks because you're only expected to have Mario. So the camera just goes off screen forever because Luigi can't set Luigi free.
Poor Luigi.
Anyway, This is where the fights become really difficult. I'm about 20 levels or so under what I should be in a normal playthrough, so anything kills me in one hit. I have a few one-ups for safety, but if I have to defend with Mario or Luigi solo, it's really difficult because your defense commands are really delayed. So I'm going to go silent here while I focus on this. All right.
Good fight.
Oof. When Popple attacks Mario there at the end, that's a deceptively hard one to time because there's really no visual cue for it, so you kind of have to get a feel for it. If he attacked Luigi, I would save about 40 seconds because I would just let Luigi die because I don't need his levels.
There you go.
That's good. Oh, maybe. This is looking a little sketchy, actually. Give me a 1, please. All right, good. Right where I want it to be, 48. One time I rolled a 4 there, and I didn't know what to do because I'm not used to having that high of power.
Having high power than you're used to is a problem for Cackletta.
Yeah, you don't want her to get below a certain amount of HP, otherwise she does these really hard to avoid, really laggy attacks. Yeah, if I'm just giving Luigi BP so I don't have to give him a syrup during the Cackletta fight. There's and if he went down during the fight, it wouldn't matter that much because I just use a syrup, but the time it takes to use a syrup is far less than leveling him up 4 times. Alright, so there's a few loose ends I need to do here. Oh, one important thing to mention, this is the last fight that you would do in a normal playthrough before unlocking Bowser's Castle. So since I defeated this boss, the game assumes I've done everything else. So once I go to Castle Town, it's going to trigger endgame. And this is going to create something interesting. Oops, well, once I do it.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah, everything's fine. All right. That's called a wall crawl. And you can see more interesting things happen when you talk to people on a barrel. But the point of that was to get the red peppers, which will give me a power boost for the Cackletta fight at the end. By the way, what you're seeing there is just a small taste of what will be in the glitch showcase here. There's a lot more hilarious things that are in store for you all. Anyway, I'm going back to Fungi Town here to buy a slightly better mush badge. It does the same thing, except it has 45 more power. And I'm going to go sell some stuff and buy some extra 1-ups because why not? It doesn't hurt to have a little bit of a safety net. Oh, wrong item. How many 1-ups did it say I had? Okay, I had 3, that's fine. For some reason, it thought it said I only had 2. I need to have 1-up for the Cackletta fight as part of a glitch. I'll explain when that happens. I do not like where you're standing, or flying, whatever it is. So yeah, as you can see here, the final cutscene in Bean Bean Castle Town is being triggered. At some point during a normal playthrough, this town gets restored to normal, but not in a speedrun. They didn't have enough time to do any repairs. So upcoming is the skip that is required for that timer event to still be running back from the Hoo Hoo Mountain minigame. And it's that whole reason why that saving wasn't an option. We probably got time for one more donation before I'm going to need quiet time.
Well, sure. We have 128 from Endrift. Mario and Luigi has been the bane of my existence, both when I got stuck on the final boss and gave up for several years, and with all the bugs I had to fix when trying to get it to emulate well when I wrote MGBA. Good swag. I even noticed a small emulation glitch in the VC version I had confirmed doesn't occur on hardware. This game gives me fury, so it's great to see it getting beaten so thoroughly.
Alright, got swag jump, so we're good there. Anyway, the last skip in the game here involves going through the escape path in Bowser's Castle. I'm going to be completely skipping Bowser's Castle because as that's too slow to go through it normally, and I don't even have the tools necessary to get through it. So I'm going to do another barrel climb here. So yeah, if you don't have a timer event running in the background, the game assumes that the timer hits 0 and you just instantly game over.
Timer event makes it really hard for new runners to get into the game because the amount of soft locks, a difficult Popple and Brito fight.
Yeah, finishing runs of this game is an accomplishment in itself. But now that I'm past that point, I can actually use the in-game save system. Anyway, this fight's really difficult, so I'm going to be silent for most of it. I'll explain the red pepper glitch when we get there. All right, first phase is done. That Starstorm attack has a chance to use Mario or Luigi's power, and as far as I know, it's random whether or not which one is used.
Oh my
boy.
gosh.
Good start.
Oh my god.
Cackleta's spin attacks have very long animations, so you want to hope that she avoids using them. We already got 2 right off the bat.
This is the slowest pattern I've ever seen on the first turn. So I'm going to feed Mario this red pepper and kill him, and that will give him the red pepper bonus for the rest of the fight. Though it's better that he doesn't die on the first attack, as solo defending as Luigi is really hard. The other benefit to it is that he's no longer heavy, so it's no longer harder to defend with him either. Wow, that was
Interesting.
All right.
Oof.
If she does fire spin, I'm dead. Because Luigi can't defend it solo. Come on. Ah,
It's over.
I was afraid of that. This fight's hard, so sometimes you can't avoid it.
That arm spin attack has a really awkward hitbox to try and get around.
Even for casual players, this fight is incredibly difficult.
Yeah. I know the first time I played it, it took me a week. By the way, the blocks there, I leave one behind just because I can. There's no benefit to it. Actually, there's a slight benefit. You don't have to jump as much beforehand. All right, hopefully this time she won't decide to spin to win all day.
No.
That's better. Here's the red pepper glitch again. Okay, still worked. Wasn't sure if that was going to do enough damage on that miss. Oh my god, why'd I do that?
Oh no.
Oh, this is gonna take another heart cycle then. Let's see. I don't want to attack her heart, just so I don't get her health too low. In fact, I'm just not going to deal damage to her on this hard turn anyway. I don't want to deal with her later attacks, and it will just take one hard cycle to kill her still. Ultimately, you want to avoid as many late cycle attacks as possible. Thankfully, Papa Lamberto gave me a lot of syrups. Good. Lasers are easy.
The tell is her eyes.
There it is.
That fight is so nerve-wracking, you have no idea.
And this is why a lot of new players of this spend a good chunk of their practice time on just that fight.
Yeah. I'll just say that the first death was RNG manipulation. She only spun arms once, and that was because it was my own fault for attacking her head. Alright, so we're going to start the glitch showcase now, because there's something I can only show at the end here during a speed run. And that'll be in the room where I came in from. So anyway, I'm just going to go to this door here, and the intro cutscene is going to play. I discovered this by accident once by getting too close to the door, and thankfully it wasn't on a run that was in a PB, because that would have been pretty unfortunate. Anyway, time will be coming pretty soon here once Prince Peasley stops talking. And then we'll get to the rest of the glitch showcase, and I've got a lot of fun stuff to show. And there we go. That's Superstar Saga. What was my time?
1:29:28.
Oh, that's about what I'd expect with a Cacklet of Death. Anyway. You guys donated for a glitch showcase of this game, and I've got a lot of stuff to show here. So anyway, this first glitch, I need to go back to a save file that I had created. The current state in the game is I just got hammers, but I don't have bro hammer attacks, and this glitch won't work unless you don't have those. And this is something that only exists on the English version. And to my surprise, it behaved a little bit differently on Virtual Console. So if you have a Game Boy player, it will do something different. So that's a little bit interesting, but the next room here will have what I'm looking for. Anyway, you take your hammer there, you whack out all the water, and then Luigi's just going to kind of run away because Mario got too mad. And if I move it, you see where Luigi ran off to. On the Game Boy player, Mario floats up into the air after being mad, so he gets so mad he gets sent into space. All right, there's another save file I have here that will be the rest of the glitches that I use here. I'm gonna need to get glitched action commands again, so hopefully the barrel glitch doesn't waste too much time here. And I'll just make a restore point once I get it. There we go. So anyway, what I got here is 2 Luigis. And this is a visual glitch here. If I go into another room, it's gonna return to normal. And I think I messed up my commands there, so that means I have to do a glitch again. So once again, hopefully it doesn't want to misbehave. Come on, let's not do this now. This trick is frame perfect, so the fact that I got it first try during the run was pretty good. This trick tends to eat up a lot of runs when I'm doing record attempts. Okay. Unbelievable. Still hitting it late. And that was early.
So this one won't be on time.
Of course it wants to do it now when I want to show off stuff. That tends to be the trend. There we go. Oh no, did it? Jump the gun again. Sorry about this. Okay.
Nice.
There, that's better.
You mentioned making a restore point?
Yes. Let me get what I need first. The restore point will be good, so that doesn't need to happen again.
I like the barrel glitch, but...
Yeah, I hear you. All right. That's a nice screen to make a restore point on.
I'm sure the console can interpret that just fine.
The fact that it even runs at all during some of these is a miracle in itself.
Have you tried sharing some of those pictures on like the Weverse?
You know, I actually haven't done that, so I think I've got some work to do when I get back. I'm sure some people will appreciate it. All right, I need to get spin jump on Luigi, and then the fun will begin. Alrighty. So we're gonna go. Whoop, that was interesting.
Wow.
All right. So we're gonna go back into the room that has this fountain, and spin jump and Fat Mario have a lot of interesting properties together. So when you spin jump on Mario here, it kind of gives them pretty glitchy movement, and it makes the fountain do some pretty interesting things too. But the best thing about this is it allows Fat Mario to jump, and you weren't able to do that before. And the funny thing about this is you can even spin jump while he's fat there. And you can keep making the funny artifacts if you want. But it's a pretty neat glitch because you can take Water Mario wherever you want, and the properties of that are still being explored, as it may still have some pretty interesting uses in some other categories. But Luigi's also had enough of Mario here, so he's just going to do that infinitely. And I'm not doing anything here. He's just doing this on his own. And he's finally getting his revenge after being the butt of the joke for the entirety of the game.
He is so angry right now.
This soft locks the game too, by the way. I can't move at all. Also, that's one thing there.
That's the good Luigi ending.
Yes, that is the good Luigi ending. All right, so there's one last thing I want to attempt here, and it is very likely going to crash the game. And one of my more popular glitches that happened completely random by accident was that I wrong warped from this game to the Mario Brothers add-in, and to this day I've not been able to replicate that. It seems to just be a weird virtual console glitch, but I'm going to try it anyway. And, you know, worst case scenario, the game crashes. So oh, it's going to create interesting noises, as you probably all came to expect. Oh yeah, that's void barrels too. That's another interesting effect. Turning Mario into a barrel, it doesn't have an animation for it, so it just kind of does whatever. All right, I'm gonna be really surprised if this ends up working. Nah, it crashed. That's about what I expected it to do, but you know, it would have been a pleasant surprise if the warp worked. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today, so thanks for tuning in.
That was Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga by altabiscuit. Coming up next, we got Saints Row, Get Out of Hell by Bystander Tim, and after that, Super Turrican, played by Shiner CCC. We have a $10 donation from Sir Kibbles saying, "So awesome to see one of my favorite games of all time being run and 1,000% worth wrecking my sleep schedule for. Also, could chat help me inform me who Champ is?" Pro Noob donating $20, saying first time donating. Because of work, I can hardly watch any games, but luckily I can donate now.